their bucket was nothing more than just a container. And they would pour the water and the soap in there, and it was fine for the very first mop load, but then you were putting dirty water back into the bucket. So you wound up cleaning the second half of your floor with dirty water. That didn't make sense.
How did you wring that mop out?
There was, well, yeah, trying to wring a mop out was the hard part. And sponge mops were never devised for cleaning floors. They were invented in Denmark in the 50s to spread wax. So if it spreads wax, it spreads dirt.
I guess they assumed it would absorb, right?
Yeah, this is just a better way to go. It's microfiber. Let's start with that. Microfiber is more absorbent than cotton. It is a wonderful lightweight material. Notice how the mop itself spins, and that means you've got the ability to get into every little nook and cranny. And then there's a factor of, we have a little washer and dryer for the mop built within the bucket. How are you? Welcome back.
Good, thanks.
It's Diana Irvine. Diana is a busy, busy mom. She was offset, and I was kind of picking on her. I'm being serious. What did you do?
Well, you know, this is a typical day in the Irvine household. I do have a 9-year-old who's an artist. You never know what's going to spill or be written on the floor with marker or with crayon or paint or food. So what's nice is that we have a solution in our house that even my kids love to use. Because this is a microfiber mop, as Dan was saying, it's lightweight, but yet it's a thirsty, hundreds of thousands of thirsty, absorbent, scrubbing fingers. There's even little fingers in here that scrub.
This is also machine washable.
Absolutely, washable and reusable.
We live in a day and an age where companies want you to buy disposables because then they got you. So this is a spin mop. So you put a little bit of water in the bottom.
Yes.
And then you'll notice that you also have this contraption here. But the mop works when you push on the handle, it self-spins.
Absolutely. And then when you push on the handle in this basket, it self-spins the water out, which gives you the perfect amount of moisture based on the mess that you're cleaning up, and you don't have to touch the nasty mop head. The only suggestion I have, the little tip is, make sure that this is perfectly up and down, 90 degrees.
Yeah.
If it's at an angle,
it won't go in the spin.
It doesn't spin properly. When you go to mop, put it at the angle. I just kind of used my toe to do that. And then the first thing I like to do when I have a wet, icky mess is to go right in and absorb the icky mess. So you can see these are thirsty fingers. They're absorbing, but then in addition to absorbing, they're going to scrub up anything that's stuck on. So a little absorbing, then a little scrubbing, and then if you get to a place like by a baseboard, you can go right up against it. If you've got things that you need to scrub, then you can give it a little bit of elbow grease, but really not much, because this is doing the scrubbing and absorbing for you, and I didn't have to touch it. And now what I'll do is put it back at 90 degrees, unlock it, take it back to my bucket. See, I haven't touched the gross mop.
Can I point out, by the way, she's using just tap water.
Yes.
You could use your favorite detergent if you so desire.
Absolutely.
But you and I are both about getting chemicals out of the house.
Well, sometimes it's about getting the mess up first, and then maybe if you want to spray something and then mop over it, absolutely. But notice then how I went into my washer, now I'm into my dryer, and then let's take a look at this.
Yeah.
So now this is pretty clean, and it's going to allow me then to go on to my next mess.
Now I've got 3 colors of the mop left. Actually 3 colors of the bucket. So I've got a really pretty blue, a purple, and a green. I want to point out, in that blue, I only have 133 of them left.
Okay.
I've got 2 other colors that already sold out, and the price tag on this is $21.98. And I am fortunate enough to be able to offer you an easy pay on this one. And it's 3 easy pay payments of $7.33. I like the little drain plug too.
Easy to empty, which is great. So take it outside or take it to the tub, pull out the plug, and then out comes the water. Really simple. And then the other thing that I love is that it has wheels. So why is that important? As you were talking about your grandmother's mop before and bucket, if you're carrying around a heavy sloshy bucket, you're going to spill the water everywhere. This is like,
it does have a handle too. If you absolutely, you know.
If you need to, you can, but watch this. I'm going to grab it with my mop,
and
I can pull it around with me. So this makes mopping easier and less of a load on your back. Now let's talk about hard floors.
All right.
Because if you have wooden floors in your home, you may, or if you have pets that shed, you may find that you get a lot of dust bunnies and pet hair. So because of the electrostatic properties of microfiber, this actually grabs things like hair and dust bunnies without even any water. So it's like dry dusting. So you see how it picked those up? Now then, if you have something like this that happens, maybe the flour spills or maybe it's baby powder. So now you can go in, and what I would do here is I would go in and I would moisten my mop just slightly, because this is a wooden floor.
And microfiber, when it's slightly damp, is even more absorbent than when it's dry.
Exactly.
Because it makes those little threads bloom.
because this is wood, Dan, I'm going to make sure it's a little bit drier, as you mentioned. First thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to absorb the wet mess. Absorb up that wet mess. Again, have you seen me touch this with my fingers yet?
Nope.
Nope. And now I'm going to go to the powdery dry mess. I'm going to clean that up. You can see how the mop spins 360, so it's getting wherever you want. And the other neat thing about this is, I'm only 5'4", so I like my handle a little shorter.
Okay.
But if you happen to be David Venable size, you can actually make it tall. So you have a short, and you can go anywhere in between.
Cool.
And have a longer mop.
It's a great idea.
Isn't it great?
Inside the bucket even gives you a fill line, tells you exactly how to fill it. And this is a true everyday solution piece of equipment. I see a lot of mops that are for occasional use. This is a workhorse.
It is, and it's handy because it's quick and easy. Now I'm having a little bit of a disaster here, a little soda spilled. So I'm going to quickly moisten this up, and I promise you, QVC, I will clean up my mess. But if you have, so you've seen a linoleum floor, now you've seen a hardwood floor, now you're going to see a tile floor, and you've also seen that we have grout that's been making this liquid go wherever. So I'm going to get in there and absorb it.
It's a washer and dryer.
Absolutely.
For your mop.
Yeah, and look at that. And it gets right into the grout and the grooves,
Your artwork
right
is
along the
so
edge.
good.
Don't you love my artwork?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I always say go for the wet mess first.
When do your
Absorb
kids
up that
start
wet mess.
back to school?
26th. 26th.
That's coming up.
Oh, I'll tell you, the summer went by fast. Super fast.
When you were a kid, did summers last forever?
You know, I grew up in upstate New York, and it seemed like it because we always went back after Labor Day.
Okay.
But down here, we seem to go back so much earlier.
I'm shocked. I grew up in Indiana. Our kids are already back in school.
Oh, no.
They're already back in school.
That stinks. Well, if your kids are at school and you want to get the
You know
floors
who's really
done,
upset about it? The teachers.
Yeah, I'm sure. My parents are school teachers, so
Yeah,
I can
I
tell
know.
you they would agree with that. Now, as a mom, and you can probably tell me why physics takes
It's a law
part
of nature.
here. There's jelly. Here is the other side of my peanut butter sandwich. The kids make it a sandwich. It falls. It always falls face side down.
It's the peanut butter displacement factor.
So this is sticky tacky. This has been on for a couple of hours. Then I'm taking my same wet mop. I'm going to go after that sticky tacky mess and clean it up. And then look. So there, it's all up. The floors are looking good. Now I'm going to go back into my mop. I'm going to get it, or my bucket. I'm going to get it a little wet. I'm going to get much of that gook off, spin it dry.
You going to do anything with the other half of that sandwich?
I have a little one there. Would you like it?
No.
Now, would you like to help me clean up some messes, or do you just want to stand there and look cute?
Sure. I'll help you all you want. You want to work as a team?
Sure.
I'll make the mess, you clean up.
Oh, sure. I get
That's
to clean
my favorite part.
All right, so talk about
She's
messes.
got the best liquid stuff here.
I do.
don't even know what it is.
How about some ice cream?
Some ice cream.
Yeah. Hey, Dan.
What?
You ever had this happen? Whoops.
Never.
The wine fell over.
Never.
What do you do when you have an emergency?
I lick it up.
You run and
That's
grab
what I
your
do.
spin mop and absorb the mess. That was a milky ice cream mess. That was a red wine. That's perfectly good wine. Now it's mopped up. But you can see how this is going to absorb so much. It scrubs so well. And it's such an easy way to mop versus touching the gross old mops where you had to wring them out. And it goes right along the baseboards, and then we'll go right back over and spin it out. So that's why mopping is easy when you have a spin mop, because you don't have to touch it. It washes it and dries it itself. And don't forget, this bucket is on wheels, so you can really just pull it along with you.
I'll be honest, you knocking over that bottle of wine, it was kind of depressing.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. I'm going to make it worse, though. I'm going to go over, and I'm going to show you what happens when you're getting ready to make scrambled eggs in the morning.
Okay.
And suddenly the eggs.
Oh, that's
So that's super thick.
Oh,
right?
yeah, it is.
Eggs, and then
how many? What is that? A half a dozen eggs?
Oh yeah. Soda. You know, my daughter, she's 9. She loves to draw.
Right.
You know, this is why you want to have this on hand, because what
Diana does have the most creative spills for mop demonstrations.
you like my spills?
Yeah, I do.
First, go to the wet mess. Absorb. This is egg, remember?
And again, it comes with a bucket that has its own washer and dryer.
Yes.
But can I put that mop head in the
Yes.
real washer and
So
dryer
after these
too?
messes, I'll put it in the washer, not the dryer. Let it air dry.
All right.
So put it in the washer, and look at this, just picking up that mess like
All right,
it's
I'm
nothing,
impressed.
and scrubbing. And then of course this has a ton of egg in it. So we're gonna take it over to our bucket. Remember, you can use a detergent if you wish to. Now,
But most detergents, if you take the time to read the bottle,
Yep.
on the back it says rinse afterwards. Who rinses their floors after they mop?
I don't know, but I just did something I want to point out. So I didn't have it quite at 90, so I'm gonna put it back at 90. Okay, and then we're gonna come back over to my bucket. If that happens to you, no worries. Just get it in there nice and straight, up and down, unlocked, then lift it up and put it into the spinner and spin it dry.
And this is, by the way, this is the original Spin 360.
This is.
I've seen copies, I've seen, you know, wannabes, etc. This is the original, and it's still affordably priced at $21.98. I still have 3 colors as well. I've got the purple, the blue, and the green. 2 of my colors sold out. I love that you don't skimp on how big the mess is that you make.
Well, because I really have a lot of faith in it. I'll tell you, when you use something often and you know it works, no challenge is too big for you.
This is like a raw shot test to my producer. What do you see?
How about some egg? Right?
An angry, bald-headed man. I wonder what she's thinking. I wonder what... That's pretty impressive.
Isn't this amazing? And then look at how those thirsty fingers are absorbing up all of that goo. And then if you want to go, you know, maybe you can also pick up extra mop heads if you wish on QVC.com. But if you want to then go over with some type of polish or some type of cleaner, you can do it. But look at this. It's simple, it's easy, it works. I didn't touch this one time. Cleaning up egg, cleaning up all kinds of colorful, thick liquids, wine.
Nicely done. That was almost artistry.
It was artistry. And look, my floors are clean.
Don't clean floors make you happy?
Yes.
Yeah, they do. Thank
More
you.
than you know.
Thank you so very, very much. I appreciate it. Coming up a little bit later on from the folks at Coleman. This is their 360-degree battery rechargeable light and sound lantern.